Summer After Midnight, Part 1, The Return. Saturday, 12:16 a.m. The small town was asleep. A few street lights buzzed, and the summer air smelled like warm pavement and distant bonfires. Leah stood alone at a dusty vending machine outside the gas station, sipping a Coke full of ice. Her phone was dead. Her mood was worse. She'd walked out of her house 2 hours ago after another screaming match with her mom and just kept walking. Happy 18th birthday to her. No party. No cake. Just the night, a dying breeze, and this vending machine buzzing like it cared. And then headlights. Slow, casual. A black truck pulled up to the curb like it owned the street. Leah squinted as someone stepped out. And froze. No freaking way. He was taller now. Broader. His dark hair messy. And his voice, when he finally spoke. Leah Moore. Still haunting gas stations in the middle of the night. She hated how her stomach flipped. You weren't supposed to be back till August, she said, folding her arms partly because she was cold, partly because she didn't know what to do with them. Yeah, well. I miss the view. He smirked. Same smirk. The one that used to drive her insane back in sophomore year. Back before he left. Back before he broke everything. Hi, Jason, she muttered. Hi, Leah. A pause. Their eyes lingered. Too long. She looked away first. Summer After Midnight, Part 2, The Walk. Didn't think you still lived around here, Leah said, taking another sip of Coke just to avoid his eyes. Jason leaned against the truck, crossing his arms. Didn't think you still talked to me. Low blow. But not untrue. Leah sighed, kicking a rock off the curb with the toe of her sneaker. You stopped texting first. You stopped answering. Touché. The silence hung between them for a second. Not angry. Just heavy like a song that almost makes you cry but doesn't. You want a ride or something? Jason asked, nodding toward his truck. You're not seriously walking around here at midnight in those shoes. Leah glanced down. Converse. Worn, slightly untied. I'm not helpless, thanks. Didn't say you were. But it's late. And weird. And, maybe I just wanted to talk to you. There it was. That edge in his voice low, sincere, a little vulnerable. It used to make her forgive him for everything. She rolled her eyes but started walking toward the sidewalk. Fine. But we're walking. Not driving. Jason raised a brow but followed. Wow. You're still stubborn. Still annoying. They walked in silence for a bit. Their shoes the only sound. The air was warm, but Leah noticed the goosebumps on her arms. Not from cold. So what are you doing back, she finally asked. Summer internship ended early. And? I don't know. I kept thinking about home. About? He paused. About what? He looked over at her. Long and hard. You. Leah stopped walking. Just for a second. She didn't smile. Didn't cry. Just stood there. Don't say things like that if you don't mean them, Jason. He didn't blink. I wouldn't say it if I didn't. Summer After Midnight, Part 3, Shadows of the Past. They stood under a flickering street lamp. The glow cast shadows across Jason's face, highlighting the faint scar above his eyebrow, a souvenir from the accident he never mentioned. Leah swallowed hard. You always say stuff like that. Then leave. Jason looked down at his hands, twisting the worn leather strap on his watch. I'm not the same guy I was before I left. I screwed up, a lot. Her heart clenched. She hated how much she still cared. Why didn't you call? Text. Nothing. Just gone. I thought I was protecting you. She laughed bitterly. Protecting me? By disappearing. I didn't know how else to fix things. There was silence. The kind that made her want to reach out and never let go, but also the kind that made her want to run. Suddenly, a car door slammed down the street. Leah tensed. Your brother? Jason asked. She shook her head, watching the dark shape approach them. It was a girl, tall, confident, with a sly grin. Jason. There you are, she called out, voice dripping with sweetness. Jason's smile faltered. Sophie, he said flatly. Leah's stomach dropped. Summer After Midnight, Part 4, The Unexpected Guest. Sophie sauntered over, her heels clicking against the cracked pavement. She smiled sweetly at Leah, but Leah caught the flicker of something sharp in her eyes. Jason's told me so much about you, Sophie said, voice smooth like silk. Leah forced a polite smile. Oh yeah? What kind of stories? Jason shifted uncomfortably, rubbing the back of his neck. Sophie's been my girlfriend for a year, he said quickly. Leah blinked. Girlfriend? Sophie tilted her head, perfectly innocent. Yep. Didn't think you knew. Leah's heart pounded, but not from jealousy. From shock. Guess I missed a few things while you were away. Sophie's smile widened, clearly enjoying the moment. Well, we should all catch up sometime. Maybe dinner? Jason, you haven't told me about your mystery girl yet. Jason's eyes flicked to Leah, an apology, a plea. But Leah just looked away. The silence stretched, heavy and awkward. Finally, Leah said, I have to get going. Jason stepped forward. Wait, Leah. But she shook her head. No. Some things need space. With that, Leah turned and walked off into the night, the sound of her footsteps echoing. Sophie watched her leave, smirking. She's trouble. Jason didn't answer. Summer After Midnight, Part 5, Aftermath. Leah walked down the empty sidewalk, her heart pounding louder than the distant cars. The night felt colder now, like the air itself was trying to remind her of what she'd lost or never had. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. A message from an unknown number. Are you okay? She hesitated before opening it. Two simple words, but enough to crack open something inside. She looked up at the stars, trying to steady her breath. I don't know. Memories flooded her mind, Jason's laugh, the way his hand felt when it held hers, and Sophie's smile, sharp and possessive. For the first time in a long while, Leah wasn't sure what she wanted anymore. Summer After Midnight, Part 6, Confessions. Jason sat on the edge of his bed, staring at his phone. His thumb hovered over Leah's name, but he couldn't bring himself to text. He ran a hand through his messy hair and whispered. How did I mess this up so bad? The truth was heavy. 4 years away, mistakes made, things left unsaid. His phone buzzed. A message from Leah. Why did you disappear? His heart pounded. He took a deep breath and started typing. I thought leaving was protecting you, but I was wrong. I'm sorry. Minutes passed. No reply. He felt the weight of every moment lost and hoped there was still a chance. Summer After Midnight, Part 7, Late Night Messages. Jason's phone buzzed again. This time, it was Leah. Leah. I don't know if I'm ready to forgive you yet. Jason's fingers hovered over the keyboard. He typed slowly. I don't expect forgiveness right away. Just, can we talk? No pressure. Leah. Okay. But it's late. Jason. I'm not going anywhere. They talked for hours, sharing small stories, half-forgotten memories, and honest truths. The conversation wasn't perfect, but it was real. By the end, Leah smiled softly at her phone screen, feeling something she hadn't in a long time: hope. Summer after midnight, part 8, trouble comes knocking. Just as Leah and Jason were slowly finding their way back, the phone rang again. This time, it wasn't Sophie. It was Ethan, Jason's older brother. His voice was tense. "Jason, we need to talk. It's about Sophie, and something you don't know." Jason's face hardened. "What do you mean?" Ethan's words hit like a punch. "She's been lying to you. About a lot." Leah's heart skipped a beat. Secrets were bubbling to the surface and nothing would be the same. Summer after midnight, part 9, the truth unveiled. Jason met Ethan in a quiet cafe, the tension thick enough to cut with a knife. "Sophie's not who you think," Ethan said, lowering his voice. "She's been using you, playing games for months." Jason shook his head in disbelief. "Why would she do that?" Ethan slid a photo across the table: Sophie with another guy, laughing too closely for comfort. Jason's hands clenched. "I trusted her." Back at home, Jason stared at his phone, then texted Leah. "We need to talk. It's about Sophie." Leah's stomach twisted. Was this the moment everything would finally break, or finally heal? Summer after midnight, part 10, crossroads. Leah stared at Jason's message for minutes, heart pounding. "Meet me at the park in 30. The night air was cool and smelled like summer rain. When Jason arrived, his eyes searched hers, full of guilt and hope. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "For everything." Leah took a deep breath, the weight of months pressing down on her. "I don't know if I can trust you yet." Jason nodded, pain flashing across his face. "I'll prove it to you. No more secrets." They sat in silence, two souls tangled in past mistakes but wanting to find a way forward. Summer after midnight, part 11, new beginnings. Days passed, filled with honest talks and shared moments. Jason kept his promises, showing up not just with words, but with actions. One evening, beneath the stars, Jason took Leah's hand. "I want to build something real with no more running." Leah smiled, her heart lighter than it had been in years. "Me too." As the first light of dawn painted the sky, they stood together, ready to face whatever came next, side by side.